Pretty good. Got to see you at a game for a little bit, even though our seats were not together. Good time. Pacers got a dub against all odds. All right. All right.
Hey, thanks, Patty. It was a great weekend, action-packed. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was staying busy, having a great time. Made some money this weekend, and my teams respectively won. So, great weekend. Hoping to keep it rolling into the weekday. Today was my company's end of a quarter fiscally, so it was kind of a shit show. So, if I sound a little stressed or angry, I apologize, but hoping this podcast can soothe my stress.
Hey, I mean, priorities. We see who likes you better. We need to have like
Wow,
the ticker.
that's
We need
great.
to have like the ticker noise, like.
Pat, if this whole accounting thing doesn't work out, you could probably be like a news reporter. That was fucking electric.
I kind of think we have to start NCAA after the weekend. It actually gets one better. 7 out of the top 10 teams all lost on that single day as well. I mean, a lot of people thought it was Gonzaga, and they lost to St. Mary's.
I would just say the best part about college basketball is also the worst part about college basketball, and the fact that the regular season just doesn't really matter that much. And I love March Madness more than the next guy. So that's why I say the best is the worst. Anything can happen in the tournament, which I absolutely love. But at the same time, I don't know shit about the college basketball regular season because it just does not matter as much as the tournament, and I think anyone can win it. I like Purdue a lot. Yeah. I think offensively, I think they're just so anyone on the floor can beat you. I know Auburn has like the best player in the league, and Kentucky's physical, but I think offensively, any starter on Purdue, Travion Williams comes off the bench. I'm really liking Purdue. I may put a future on Purdue. It's kind of an emotional hedge, but the Purdue team's a lot of fun to watch, and I think they're honestly a tournament team.
My only issue with Purdue is their best player has no interest in playing defense. Like, if you watch him away from the ball, the dude's completely unengaged. Like, hands down, maybe looking in the crowd, being like, hey, what's up, guys? But, Purdue, they'll play lockdown defense, the possession, Jay and I would be off ball, and it's a back cut. Easy. Like, it's tough. And it's bad because Purdue's kind of known for their defense recently.
I love that shit. Patty, I don't know if it's technical difficulties on my end. I don't know if you can turn up your volume. I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know if that's the case for Tyler at all, but it could just be a me issue. But I don't know if you can turn up your volume at all. I'm not sure.
Well, I can hear him, but Pat and I both have on big like air traffic control sets, so that's why we can probably hear each other. It's pretty noise canceling. You're out on the road. You got the road noise to deal with.
Yeah, we're good. It's softer than it normally is. So I don't know if you can change that or not. Just keep it rolling.
Just speak loud and clear, Matt. You got it. In the meantime, I will share I was just informed by a guy, Jake. Apparently on FanDuel right now, Sabonis to get a triple double is plus 60, but 10 assists for Sabonis is plus 800. So that's kind of funny.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Sabonis to get a triple double is plus 750, but Sabonis just 10 assists is plus 800.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing you need to be like
pretty
paying
funny.
attention to because, you just never know. Like, people automatically look at the triple doubles, but they don't look at like the individual stats. And I know a lot of times if you were to bet like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists instead of the triple double, you actually end up with
A lot better
odds.
value.
Yeah. Why that's a thing, I don't know, but that's just something you need to keep an eye out. So good on our guy Jake there. The first half of this episode on the podcast, you might not actually hear me, so that's why you always need to pay attention to these things beforehand. But it is what it is. I'll tell you what team I don't like in college basketball this year is Villanova.
They're not even in the top 10, are they?
I don't think so. Odds-wise, they're plus 2,400 to win the whole thing, so they're definitely ranked. I don't know where they're ranked, but I saw them struggle to beat a Georgetown press defense in a game, and I just said, a good defensive team will just eat up Villanova, and you can't have that in a tournament. I mean, you could go up against
Georgetown press week.
I don't.
I didn't get that. This has been a rough technical episode.
Yeah. I think he asked if the Georgetown press was weak. I wouldn't say it's weak, but still, you should be able to beat any kind of zone if you're any kind of a team, or not zone, but a press. Like you have to be able to break a press. It doesn't matter. I mean, it was a basic press that you've seen. Like the 1-2-1-1, where basically if the ball goes into the corner, you have two guys that are trapping them.
I'm impressed, baby.
You gotta beat the press. And Villanova, if some mid-major team who plays good defense, unknown, comes in, drops a press on them, put them on upset alert. I'm calling it right now.
All right.
A little side tangent. My coworker Doug, he was on FanDuel, but he wanted to join DraftKings, so I gave him a link. We both get a $100 free bet, and he was really liking Villanova against Providence tomorrow. Villanova is at home, and they beat Providence at Providence earlier in the season by 5. So I'm curious to see what that line's going to be. But we may both ride Villanova. So I do not like you saying that you're not a fan of Nova right now.
I'm not saying
Just
that
to win
Yeah.
the tourney.
I'm not
Not
saying that
beat
Villanova
Providence.
can't beat like Providence or beat an in-conference team, but Georgetown this year is
I
not
know.
good, and they ended up beating Villanova because Villanova could not break a press. All right, so moving on in college basketball. So IU wins in Minnesota. That's big for all of us. All of us IU fans. It's big news. This morning on ESPN, they said IU is in the last 4 in. So they're in there. But I'm thinking if they beat Rutgers and win a game or two in the tourney, they have to be in, right?
They beat Rutgers, they're in.
Yeah.
They've got a couple good wins.
Even if they lose in the Big Ten tournament, they're in. If they beat Rutgers.
I don't know about first round. They might need to go second round.
If it ended right now, I think we'd have Iowa in the first round, and Iowa's a ranked team.
Yeah, well, fair. I guess it depends on the level of
difficulty
of the opponent that we
If we finish 500 in the, I'm sorry, Pat, I really can't hear you. I'm probably interrupting you this whole time. If we finish 500 in the Big Ten with 19 wins overall, I think you're in. And some of the wins we've had, I think we are in the tournament if we beat Rutgers. Now, if we don't beat Rutgers, and assuming we get stomped by Purdue and West Lafayette, then I think you got to win 1 or 2 in the tournament. But if we beat Rutgers, I think we've sealed our fate.
Okay, sounds good to me. Moving on, where do we want to go next? We want to go NHL, NBA, PGA, or MLB?
Go NHL because you know more about it than anyone else.
All right, baby. I wanted to talk about this an episode ago. I totally forgot about it on Friday's episode. But the Montreal Canadiens are hot right now, so hot. They were one of my favorite teams to bet on in the NHL playoffs last season. They got hot about this time last year. But they have won 5 straight games after starting this season 8-33-7. That means that basically over the past week or two, they've almost had as many wins as they have all season up to this point. Now, what is the reason behind this? I had to ask myself. I said, what changed? What is going on here? What is making the Canadiens a team that is worthwhile to bet on? It is Martin St. Louis. He took over the coaching job a few weeks ago, and even in the games they lost, the team just looked different. A lot of times when you see a team, you can tell a world of difference between one game or the next, especially if there's a coaching change. And so they look interested. They are buzzing. And if they could ever get our boy Carey Price back, this team could be contenders in the near future. But shout out the Montreal Canadiens.
I couldn't hear what you said the record was, but they were like the worst team in hockey. Is it too little too late for this season? Are you saying just capitalize on the betting value?
Correct. There is no way that they will make the playoffs. But the past 5 games that I've bet on them, I've gotten them at close to like plus 170 value every single game. I mean, that is value you cannot pass up.
Is this do they play tonight? Asking for a friend?
They do not, unfortunately. I think the next time they play, I think is Wednesday, unfortunately.
I'm going to peep that value hard. I feel like at a certain point that value has to change, right? I mean, I did it with the Reds when they got hot back in the summer. Maybe the Canadiens, maybe they won't give them any respect. Maybe it's a fluke, but I don't know. I like the whole coach. I like the whole coach story, Pat. That's a good take.
So I misspoke. They actually do play tomorrow. But according to ESPN, the value for the Winnipeg Jets, who they're playing, is minus 230, which means the value on the Canadiens has got to be like plus 180.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
Is Carey Price in net, or is he still out?
He has not played yet this season, and that's why I'm saying if Carey Price were ever to come back and play like he did in last year's playoffs, this team could be scary good.
Isn't he out for like mental reasons though? It's not an injury. It's like mental health or something.
Correct. So who knows
So
if he'll ever play again? I mean,
I was gonna say I imagine him coming back halfway through a season that's already lost. I don't see that happening. But hey, I like your optimism, and I know you're a huge Carey Price guy.
oh yeah, huge Carey Price guy.
Me too.
Tyler too. Yeah. New favorite hockey player.
Definitely.
All right, so that leaves NBA, PGA, and MLB. Do we want to just knock out the MLB real quick? There's not a whole lot to throw in it, but it's kind of like probably the most boring one to talk about, and so it's what's there.
Is there anything to talk about? Like, they're on strike, right?
The deadline was today. It looks like that is going to pass, which means they're talking about canceling regular season baseball games. I think the first step is like a week, basically. So if they don't get anything passed today, then they'll take out a week of baseball games, and it'll obviously just keep going until the point to where, who knows how many games we'll get. I mean, we all can admit the baseball season is too long, so it's not absolutely terrible that they're losing games, but I am worried how far this will go. I mean, at what point?
My question to you is, I don't understand why the deadline has to be made today for games to start on time. Isn't opening day like late March? Why does the deal have to be done right now?
Because you have to give the players some sort of warm up, right?
Do you?
I mean,
like there has to be spring training. What if we're not going to do spring training in June?
Right.
Like that's just the stupidest shit I've ever heard. No offense, pardon my language. I told you guys I was a little feisty today, but I don't know. Is spring training like the owners just make more money? Is that why they want spring training? I don't understand. Is spring training that important at this point?
I believe I actually heard the shortened season where they didn't have the full spring training. Injuries were up compared to normal that year, so that's probably part of the reason why they did this.
And it may, I think it could be, I think Tyler's right. I think it's more of a players thing than an owners thing at this point. The owners aren't making money on spring training or anything like that, but the players like the spring training so they can get, used to baseball speed again. And, they probably haven't done anything. I mean, I'm sure some of them have been like throwing or, hitting BP or whatever, but that's nothing compared to game speed, right? I mean, I don't know that teams could get up to game speed like just right off the bat.
Well, you probably have to. I didn't play baseball, you guys did, so you probably know. But like, you probably need to build some sort of chemistry with your fielding. Fielders just on defense know where they're at, get a feel for that. Just outside looking in, guessing there.
You need practice. You need to figure things out for some. I mean, but I hope it gets figured out soon. I mean, can't we just meet in the middle and call it a day? I mean, the owners, do they really need all that extra money? The players have been getting screwed for years. Give the players what they want. Give up a little bit here and there. Let's have a baseball season. All right. That leaves two. NBA, PGA. Dizz, Tyler, any preference?
Let's just go PGA because you and Tyler can knock out NBA.
Okay. So in the PGA, the Honda Classic was this weekend. Of course, we bet on it. We missed every single bet we had, but Sepp Straka outlasted Shane Lowry in the rain to win the Honda Classic this weekend. He becomes the first Austrian winner in PGA Tour history. He actually came into this week ranked 176th in the world. So a big upset, big win. I curious to what his odds were at the beginning of the tourney, but I had Shane Lowry at plus 2,200, and so I am down bad based off of the PGA and based off of how things turned out this weekend. Dizz, did you watch the end of this tournament?
Yes, I did. And before we talk about the end, I want to talk about Daniel Berger because he had I believe, a 5-stroke lead going into Sunday. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And we took him after Friday. He had a 3-stroke lead. We got him at minus value, which I was skeptical on in a golf tournament, but I rode with it. It was whatever. It honestly was a good bet. He started 4 over in his first 6 holes. And, after an hour on Sunday, it's 3 p.m. and he's tied for the lead after having a 5-stroke lead. So that one hurt to watch. Just from a group best bet standpoint, that was tough. I wasn't watching it. I actually was with you, Patty, and we had no idea this was going on. Once I got back to my house, I put on the last 9 holes of the tournament or something and saw that Berger wasn't winning, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then you texted me that you had 22-1 on Shane Lowry.
And as soon as that happened, he just...
Well, so he didn't really erupt. Straka just kind of took off, and the last hole, it started pissing rain. Straka was
first, right?
Yeah, Straka finished before him, which Straka did hit an immaculate shot in the pissing rain onto the green on a par 5, so he 2-putt birdied his way to victory. But Shane Lowry, I mean, it's pissing rain on his tee shot. It's pissing rain on his approach shot. He had to lay up, and then he had to go up and down for birdie. His approach was 30 feet away, and he just could not make the putt. So a little unfortunate there. I know that's how it goes. I'm happy they didn't suspend the play, but a little unfortunate for Shane Lowry and very down bad for you, Patty.
Yeah. It was. I was not thrilled by it, but I know I can't really take partial blame about it, but I'm big on jinxing things, and I had texted Dizz Shane Lowry had the lead. I'm like, hey, I have him at 22-1 odds. This is in the book. It's gonna be a good day. And then I look back at basically once Straka had finished, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? We're losing? Oh, it was rough. I was down bad.
Smushed yourself.
Yeah. Yep. But
while we're on PGA, did you guys hear anything about this Phil situation?
I kind of heard about it, but I didn't know exactly what happened. Did he make comments about the Saudi Arabia League or something?
So he backed a Saudi Golf League. Basically, just a lot of tour players were complaining about the PGA Tour's treatment, and Phil kind of sought out and was one of the first people to endorse the Saudi Golf League, which basically ensured a flat rate and your pay wasn't based off your performance, and just better treatment, smaller things that I don't know off the top of my head. But Phil was the first one to support it, and then literally came out with a statement talking about how the Saudi Arabia government kills you if you're gay and is very fraudulent, and it's just they're not great people. And then he's like, but this is a great opportunity for golf. Literally in his statement, if you read his statement, it's so laughable. And I've had up and downs with Phil. I think he's a douchebag.
He took your money away from you because he had insider trading.
He took my money away from me when I was 12 years old. Fuck him. I've been anti-Phil for a while, and he lost his KPMG sponsorship. He lost his Amstel Light sponsorship. Phil Mickelson legit might be canceled. And not that I'm rooting for that. I just think he's kind of a douchebag, and I encourage you all to read his statement. It's literally 6 paragraphs, and each 6 paragraphs goes in a different direction. So look that up. Look up Phil's statement on the Saudi League, and you're in for a treat.
The best part about that actually was after he got called out for it, even though he was that detailed, his whole response said, well, I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
That was the best part, is that was his excuse. Bro, you typed out a 6-paragraph explanation on how it was bad, but it basically just broke down well, they're bad, but they're going to give me a lot of money, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a dick move, but I understand, right?
Good callback.
Nice callback, man.
Thank you.
I have a flawless segue here, Pat. Speaking of people making mistakes, and I'm getting ready to talk about NBA. Have you seen De'Aaron Fox NFT scam?
I did hear about this. I didn't see it, but was he selling an NFT?
Yeah, so he started a whole like NFT community that promised access with him and everything. Like he was the Discord server, he was in there talking about it, to everyone. Was promised all this set up infrastructure, and then he had a 1.5 million in like buy-ins, and he shut the whole project down, like deleted everything. The Discord's cleared and everything. Like even the last thing people heard is like, hey, sorry, I don't have the time for this. I'm gonna have to, shut it down, but I'm gonna be refunded or like giving out like signed jerseys and stuff. And then the next day, the Discord with all that was deleted.
Oh man!
And because NFT, he kept the money because NFTs are unregulated. It doesn't count as a scam or anything. Like he just gets to keep that 1.5 million.
Yeah. No, exactly. And I feel like that'll happen too with like cryptocurrencies, right? Like, are cryptocurrencies regulated at all?
I don't really know much, but I believe those are backed easier. But like stealing someone's crypto isn't a prosecutable crime because it's not regulated that way. But it's similar to that. But
yeah, I see what you're saying. Like total dick move. Like, can't believe he did it. And
well, they doubled down, made it even worse because after they did that, he funneled. So he had everyone pay in Ethereum, crypto, and then he funneled it through like so many different things that it can't even be traced anymore where the money ended up going because it was like funneled and traded through that much. So like they knew what they were doing. It looks premeditated. It's a bad look for him.
Oh man, that's rough. So basically, you're saying we need to fade De'Aaron Fox tonight?
I mean,
or do we bet on him because
1.5 million richer? He's been having a terrible season, so he might as well rip off some people.
Is he getting in any trouble for this? Is that
no? I mean, the court of public opinion. No, because it's not what
it's not regulated.
They got a picture.
That's all an NFT is.
Wow.
They got a little picture, yeah.
I hate to be this guy, but that sounds kind of smart by De'Aaron Fox.
I mean, he can't legally get in trouble with court of public opinion. Like, everyone thinks he's a scumbag now.
Would you take $1.5 million for everyone to know you're a scumbag? And I know that analogy isn't great because he already has millions of dollars, but would you take $1.5 million and everyone thinks you're a scumbag?
I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
To be like universally hated, I don't think that's enough. You're gonna have to bump it up a little bit. I need Bezos money to be universally hated.
Good point. That's a good point. Is he universally hated, or is this something that's gonna blow over and he's gonna be?
I feel like a lot of people don't care about NFTs and crypto. We're just gonna say like a lot of people that are skeptical of crypto are probably like kind of what you said, like good for him. He can't get in trouble. Like,
well,
a lot of people think NFTs are dumb too.
Him.
But no, not like that. But I think a lot of people that think NFTs are a scam to begin with are going to be like, those people got what they deserve, which isn't my opinion at all. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think that either. But hey, maybe this will lead to some regulation. Maybe this is a good thing. Not trying to defend him again. I think he's a scumbag. But,
no, but that's the whole point of NFTs. It's not regulated. They're, in my opinion, a lot of people are moving them for money laundering and things like that. But it's an unregulated system. This is what it was made to do. Is kind of shadier side. And if banks fail, you can sell clip art pictures or something. I don't fully get it.
Gotcha.
I think this is a very informational podcast. I mean, we should be up for like all kinds of awards for this because we are just rolling on all cylinders in all aspects.
And with that, Patty, let's roll us on into the NBA.
All right, so let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyler, you called it for the first game. You were like, dude, the 76ers are the real deal. They're going to ball out, and they did. And they look like a different team with Harden. I mean, in the 2 games with Harden, their average margin of victory is 23.5. That is insane.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And they all of a sudden, I think they're the team to beat in the East and possibly the league. I mean, I can't think of a team in the East if they're playing the way they are that can. I mean, I think the Bulls or the Heat could give them like a series, but I think the Sixers end up winning those series. I mean, I think the Sixers have to be the favorite to win the East and then also make it to the championship. I would think.
You don't think the Bucks can do anything? 7-game series, put up a couple games on them.
No, absolutely. I like I said, there will be teams out there that'll give the Sixers a series, but I think the Sixers end up coming out on top. I don't think the Bucks this year have looked quite as good as they have in years past, or like last year. I don't think so. I mean, I think the 76ers are the team in the East to beat.
Respect it.
Which leads us to the topic that we alluded to earlier. The Indianapolis Pacers beat the Boston Celtics by 21 points last night, Tyler.
You disrespect. The Pacers play for all of Indiana. They're not the Indianapolis Pacers.
I was going to say, are you embarrassed did you realize you fucked up when you said that?
I did, but it happens.
I don't respect that you kept going.
They play for all of us.
As a host of a podcast, when you mess something up, you just try to go through it, motor through it, and hope no one notices. But you guys clearly were on.
The world's listening, Pat. The world's listening. Our viewers expect better.
I know, and I apologize. I'll do the full Phil Mickelson apology here shortly.
I want a Notes app apology tweeted out from the show account.
Can't make any promises, but nonetheless, shout out to you, Tyler, and shout out to Jake for inviting me to the game. It was a hell of a time. But my boy O'Shea, what? Go ahead.
They invited you to the game, but you didn't sit together?
I sat with.
We had different. We have 4 seats, but different levels.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So like Pat sat in John's season ticket seats, and I got my boss's season ticket seats, so I was down at the down part.
Tyler was basically 5 rows from the floor, and I was at the bottom row of the balcony.
Nice.
But we were taking pictures of each other. It was a good time.
It was. My receding hairline was fully noticeable from where Pat was at.
And I looked like a child next to Jake, according to
well, Jake's like 6'4", so
yeah.
it happens.
I looked like I was his son. It was beautiful.
You did.
But my boy O'Shea Brissett, Tyler.
Oh my gosh.
Balled out. I mean, I knew it. I knew it as soon as I got there. I mean, O'Shea's my guy. He's my favorite Pacers player by far. I show up in the building and he balls out.
Showed up in the custom Pacers jersey, just ready to play.
That's right. And I think it is official, Tyler. My good luck of showing up to games for my teams is more dominant than your bad luck with your wearing of your clothes to games that you are going to or watching or betting on.
I purposely wore Pacers gear to smush them last night. My cursed Pacers shirt, I did not wear a single Celtics item. And these Celtics got absolutely squashed.
Got smacked around. I kept waiting for the Celtics to make a run, to make it close, to make things happen. And it just never really happened.
Well, you knew in the third quarter if the Pacers could hold that on, they had it. Because the Pacers normally play pretty well the first 2 quarters, and then third quarter just complete meltdown, and they held on. A little help from your guy Brissett there, just banging threes.
I actually live bet the Celtics at the end of the third quarter because I thought the Celtics were going to come back and win, and it did not happen. Pat, if you could put on that custom Pacers jersey and teleport to Orlando, because I got some cheese on the Pacers tonight.
I would love to be honest. I mean, the Pacers. I mean, they looked like a different team last night. It was nice. It was fun. But yeah, O'Shea Brissett. Let's put some respect on my man. And actually, so he led the game in scoring last night. And I was telling Jake this on DraftKings. You can always bet who's going to be the highest scorer of a game, and usually the odds are ridiculous, right? Because it's hard to know like who's going to be the leading scorer for both teams and this, that, or the other. In a game that had Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield. I mean, any of those people, and O'Shea Brissett was the leading scorer last night, and getting him to hit 5+ threes. They're not even offering O'Shea Brissett to hit 5+ threes. I wonder what kind of odds we could have made on those bets last night.
Pretty solid.
It would have been a good night.
Do we start to factor in the value of back-to-backs more on our betting now, since the Celtics looked very flat coming off a back-to-back?
Well, so
is that something we might want to look into? That was it. Also, third game out of like 5 nights for them.
I'm not sure. I think that sounds right. I mean, it does sound right. We'd have to look and check that. But like also tonight, I know the Pacers are playing in Orlando after playing in Indy last night. And I know Brogdon's sitting out tonight. He played last night, but because it's a back-to-back and they're worried about Brogdon's health, he is sitting out tonight. But yeah, it's definitely something, especially at this point in the season, with like the whole traveling and just playing back-to-backs. I think it's definitely something we need to start looking at and possibly paying attention to. Are you concerned at all about the Celtics after last night, or did the Pacers just shoot lights out and the Celtics had an off game and that's going to happen?
Think you ever go in game planning O'Shea Brissett to just shoot 70% from 3 or whatever he was shooting for the majority of the game? Like, that's not who you focus on, right? Or not who you really build your game plan around.
Well, and I think a lot of times, at least last night, when O'Shea was getting these open looks, he had like Daniel Tice or Robert Williams on him. Those guys aren't exactly perimeter defenders.
Well, no, that's the Celtics switch almost every single screen. Yeah. So like that kind of happens, and like I said, they switched on them. I'm sure they did their scouting report and weren't super impressed by O'Shea Brissett's former, other career games, and thought, hey, we can, if there's one guy we can kind of cheat off of on a switch, it's probably this guy. He doesn't shoot that much. He really doesn't take that many shots in general.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, this Pacers shot hit 17 of 33 from 3, 51%. Celtics were 29% from 3, 12 of 43. I mean, it's just, one team played better than the other. That's kind of all it was. They looked flat coming off a back-to-back.
And Tatum had foul trouble early on. I mean, by the time we had gotten into the game, we weren't hardly seeing him in the first quarter because he'd already gotten 2 fouls.
He historically is not good against the Pacers, if you actually look that up.
That's what Jake said. And then he said Jaylen Brown, though, is always the Pacer killer.
Correct.
So, there you go. All right, boys. Anything else around the leagues that we want to talk about before we move on?
Was that our final league?
That was our final league, yes.
I think college basketball Thursday, I'm going to have a lot of Big Ten updates because this weekend will be the last college basketball weekend. So we'll kind of look at where the top teams are, where the bubble teams are. Kind of a consolidation of my previous 2 Big Ten topics, but we'll look at it with 1 or 2 games to go for these top tier and bubble teams.
A little tease. All right. Me and Tyler will try to provide something, but I know it's a busy week at work, at least for me. So we'll see how much of the information we actually have.
I have a question about baseball for the baseball experts. Jake and I were having a little conversation earlier that brought this up.
Lay it on me, or us, I guess.
All right, so if they're still on the lockout when I believe it's July 1st hits, does my guy Bobby Bonilla get paid?
He does. He
Yes.
does still get paid.
He
yes.
still gets paid?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's the potential he is the highest paid player this year.
Bingo. That is a definite possibility.
I don't think that's accurate. I think there's other people on similar contracts to his. Obviously not absurd as his. But I think people are. I think there are some athletes on royalty-based contract. I think there are some MLB players on some royalty-based contracts like what Bobby Bonilla has. There may be some more than 1.1 million, but I'll look into that. That'll be my homework. I'll come back to you with that on Thursday. But I'd be absolutely juiced if Bobby Bonilla was the highest paid player.
I mean, that's why I had to come in and ask the hard questions for the baseball experts because I didn't know the answer at all.
He still gets paid 100%.
Oh, good for him.
Contract of the millennium, bro.
Cardinals legend?
He's not a Cardinals legend, no.
What do you mean? He played on the Cardinals.
I don't think that's correct.
I'm fact checking you.
You're fact checking yourself.
Fact checking you because I'm pretty sure he played on like 50 teams.
He did play for a lot of teams. That is factual.
In 2001, he was a St. Louis Cardinal.
Damn it. Another one for Tyler.
And that was your team at the time you were born, Pat.
I mean, Bobby Bonilla wasn't exactly the focal point of any team that he was a part of. Also,
That's not true, bro. He used to be damn good.
I'm on his page here. 6-time All-Star.
Yeah, he used to
World
be damn
Series
good.
champion, 3-time Silver Slugger.
Yeah, he was really good.
I am just striking out left and right here. I just need to
Dizz,
stop.
I'm coming to you with baseball questions from now on.
Hey, I'm really just the Bobby Bonilla expert because I did a project on him in my negotiations class senior year of college. So I really know more about Bobby Bonilla than anyone should. But if you have any questions about Charles Ponzi or the fucking what's the guy's name? I can't even think. Bernie Madoff.
Team named after. Oh, so it is.
Bernie Madoff. The Mets owner Fred Wilpon was connected to the Bernie Madoff scheme, so he had to give out this shit contract because he was low on cash because his boy just robbed millions from him. It's truly a fascinating story. That was a story for another pod, but yeah, if you have any questions, Tyler, feel free.
Let's do a Bobby Bonilla pod.
We already did.
I was gonna say we did before you were a member of it.
A full pod?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was on Bobby Bonilla Day, and I talked about the contract negotiation and how the Mets had no power because the owner was broke.
Actually, now you're mentioning this, I think this is where I'm even familiar with him from. Now that you're saying it, I do remember Dizz's voice about that.
There you go. Dizz is educating people all the time.
All right, that's all I have for tonight, guys. I don't know if you got anything else.
No, that's good for me. Dizz, you good?
I'm good.
All right, let's move on to the Dumbest Dummy Competition. This is the final episode, the final competition bets for February. It is coming down to the wire. I went 1-8 on Friday.
God damn it.
Played right into Dizz's hand.
No.
What do you mean no? You literally...
What was the one that hit for you? I should be down. I should not be down 4 units. I should not be down only 4 units if the one you hit wasn't plus 1,000.
It was plus 390.
So how many units did you lose? 6?
So I lost 8 and then I hit for plus 390, so I lost about 4 units.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Dizz is still in good shape.
Well,
that's not accurate.
Good is not the right word. He's still down 4 units, but Dizz did not bet on Friday. For those that don't know,
And it helped me.
it did. It did help him.
Fun
That's
fact.
what I'm saying. I played right into his hand. But for the competition, I am down 4.45 units. Dizz is down 8.29 units. Now, Dizz.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Since you didn't bet on Friday, are you betting today, or are you doing the exact same thing that you did on Friday and not betting and let me bet myself into a loss?
I'm betting. I'm
Okay.
gonna win this myself, regardless of what you do.
Okay. Would you like to grace us with your picks for tonight in the ultimate or the final episode for February?
I absolutely would. I got Baylor to win and to score 70-plus points against Texas at plus 220. Now, I will say Texas is at home. Baylor is only favored by 2 points. But the last time Baylor and Texas played, I know Baylor was at home, and home field's a huge thing in college basketball. Baylor won by 17 points, and they scored 80. Baylor in 5 of their last 6 have scored 70-plus. So I'm loving that. That's at plus 220. Then I got Pacers money line against the Magic, parlayed with Cavs money line at home against the Timberwolves. I got that at plus 410. And then I got 2 home dogs on the ice. Capitals money line against Toronto Maple Leafs. The Kings money line against the Bruins plus 336. See ya, Pat. See ya in March, pal.
Wow. Okay.
I like the confidence.
Yeah. So I
First of all, can I just say I loved in the notes how you put redacted on your bet?
I had
So
to make sure. I had to make sure.
Because if you had 10 bets, I 100% would not have bet anything.
That's right. I knew what you were planning, so I said, all right, fine. I will hide my best bets so Dizz cannot see them. And I'll be honest, these are you'll see a theme with most of these picks, all right? The first one, my boy O'Shea Brissett over 13.5 points at minus 106. I know, Tyler, it's crazy. It's crazy. But number one, he's coming off a 27-point performance last night. He's going to be feeling it. He's going to be putting up the shots. Now, Orlando allows the most points to power forwards this season. So out of all the teams, they give up the most points to power forwards on a per game basis. They also allow the 4th most 3-pointers to power forwards in the season as well. We saw last night, Tyler, O'Shea can hit from 3.
Absolutely. Just drained every shot he took, it seemed like.
Yes. Now, obviously, O'Shea Brissett is hot, so I'm hoping that continues tonight down in Orlando. Now, ultimately, that might end up helping Dizz out more than it helps me out if O'Shea Brissett goes off again. But I think, too, with Brogdon being out, there's more shots to be had. I like O'Shea Brissett tonight over 13.5 points. Now, for my other bets here, I'm trying something new. Now, on gambling Twitter, they like to call this a ladder. So you start out with a pick, and then you just keep taking them all the way up to the max number of ones you can hit. So I'm starting the ladder off with O'Shea Brissett, 2+ 3-pointers made at plus 108. Then I'm taking him to hit 3+ 3-pointers at plus 380, and then I'm taking him to hit 4+ 3-pointers at plus 1280. They did not offer O'Shea Brissett to hit 5+ 3-pointers, or else I would have taken that as well.
Pat, what's the benefit of a ladder?
Just
like the gambling benefit of a ladder.
So with the 3-pointers, right? A lot of people may take O'Shea Brissett to hit 2+ 3-pointers. That's great. It's at plus 108. But then you're kicking yourself when he ends up hitting 5 because you didn't take the additional whatever. But if he only ends up hitting 3 instead of the 4, I'm still making money instead of going for the just the 4+ that's at the great value that I think he has the absolute possibility of hitting.
So it's essentially a prop hedge.
More or less, yeah. And
Okay.
it's used quite often with threes because the threes you get like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With points,
You can yeah.
it doesn't
Feel you.
quite work out as well.
Got you.
So we're doing an O'Shea Brissett 3-point ladder for tonight. And then I'm taking the Pacers to win by 31 plus points tonight in Orlando at plus 5,000 odds. The Magic stink.
This is my nightmare.
The Magic stink. There's no denying it. The Pacers beat the Celtics by 21 points last night. I have no doubt in my mind that the Celtics would beat the Magic by 31 plus points. So why can't the Pacers do it? I'm riding the hot hand tonight. I want the Pacers to win by 31 plus points tonight in Orlando.
This is my nightmare.
Yep. And then another.
If I am watching, if all my bets are landing and the Pacers are up 30 at the end of the fourth, I'm gonna scream.
It's gonna be glorious. And then the last one. This was a late ad. I didn't even have this one on my notes, but our boy SGA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to record a double-double tonight against the Kings. That is plus 230 value. The Kings don't play defense, and SGA is going to ball out tonight. So there you have it, fellas. There's my competition bets that will ride me into the sunset with another victorious month in the Dumbest Dummy Competition.
Is your SGA bet void because you still don't know how to pronounce his name?
Absolutely not. That is not a prerequisite in making these bets. It never has been.
Just say SGA. And by
know.
the way, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You say Shai Gillis something every time. And a mispronunciation is a big part of the entertainment of this pod. Don't get me wrong.
Keeps
But,
people coming back.
Just call him
Carl
SGA,
Wentz.
future reference.
Carl Wentz, Jimmy Harden. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Dewey Haskins.
That's right. That's right. Keeps the people
Dewey
going.
Washington Jr.
All right. So there's the Dumbest Dummy Competition bets. Let's go to group best bets. We went 1 and 2. Like we said, if Danny Berger would have came home for us, we would have been in a better spot than we are. But as a group, we are down 4.01 units, which means, Dizz, if we can hit 3 bets at plus 150 value, we can still end up with a positive month. I hate that we keep ending up back in this situation, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So what tickles your fancy?
Let me look. I just pulled up home. Give me 1 sec. Do you have anything while I open the app?
Well, you took both the Pacers and the Cavs, right?
Yeah.
I like
They got to be plus 150s.
Not necessarily. We just have to get 4.01. So, plus the Pacers right now are plus 122 on the money line. So that's 1.22 units. So,
Full send that. Because we both bet on that.
correct. So that would leave us with 2.79 that we need to make up. So basically, close to plus 150 odds that we need. Tyler, anything striking your fancy?
These trades make it kind of hard to see some of this because, Buddy Hield on the Pacers averages 36 points in away games because he's played 1 game.
Right, yeah, for
So
sure.
it's kind of getting hard for that. But, let's see. I'm not seeing too much. Let me see we got anything good on the college basketball slate tonight. Northwestern at Iowa. That's tough.
Yeah. Baylor.
Pat, what about
what?
What about you pick one of my favorite home dogs in hockey tonight?
They're not big enough home dogs.
What do you mean?
We have with the Pacers pick, we need to get to 2.79 units on our last 2 picks to get to even for the month.
Oh.
And so if we use yours, then it's unreachable.
So it almost has to be an NBA at this point.
Yeah.
It's almost like value-wise, it has to be like the Bulls.
The Bulls are plus 152.
Bulls and the Cavs.
Okay, let's see.
Who are the Cavs? Home dogs?
They are.
Yeah, that's why I took them.
I kind of like that. Can we do that, Patty?
Okay. We're stretching the rules a little bit. The plus 152 is a little bit outside our range, but it's not like a hard, fast set range, so we will allow it. I will make the decision that we will allow it because I can do that because I'm the host of this podcast. So we're going to do Pacers money line plus 122, Cavaliers home money line plus 136, and Bulls money line plus 152 versus the Miami Heat.
So if we go 3-0, we are positive units.
Correct.
Do I make a parlay of all those three happening?
I mean, I'm doing it.
Parlays, we know you're doing it.
I mean, what are we talking about?
$1 to win 1220, Pat. Am I writing that with you?
Let's do it, bro.
We'll send, baby.
Tyler would do it if
All
he
these
had.
games is 7. Fuck yeah, Pacers and Cavs are both at 7, so those will be over before CP time.
You sound like a child, but I love it.
We're adults. We're very responsible adults. We have to get to bed at a decent time so we can succeed and be excellent in our day jobs.
Yeah.
Until we hit some bigger parlays here.
That's right. Yeah. All right, boys. It's that time of the episode. The multi-sport Hail Mary parlay of the day. It is a 10-leg parlay. We got 3 in the NHL. We got 7 in the NBA. Any guess as to the value on this one, boys?
Dizz, you want to take a crack at it?
I wasn't listening when you said how many legs there were. So
10 legs.
First.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to say 1,200.
Okay. Diz?
1,700.
You both are a little high. It is $1 to win $678.18. If there were more NHL games tonight, we'd see some more juice on that, but only 3 on the ice tonight. So we will start there. We got the Maple Leafs money line versus Capitals. I'm going up against Dizz in that one. Canucks money line versus the Devils, and the Kings money line versus the Bruins. And then in the NBA, I got Timberwolves minus 3.5 versus the Cavs. I know we just bet the Cavs money line, but I do think the Timberwolves will win that one. Pacers money line versus the Magic. Bulls plus 4 versus the Heat. Nets plus 4 versus the Raptors. Hornets plus 10.5 versus the Bucks. Grizzlies minus 8.5 versus Spurs. And Thunder plus 5 versus the Kings.
Seems pretty reasonable this time.
I like that. I like it.
Nothing outlandish.
It passes Tyler's gut check, so it's always a good sign. You boys might want to ride with me this time. All you listeners out there. This is the one.
10,432 current YouTube viewers.
Yes, all 10,000. Yeah. All right, boys. Anything you need to get off your chest before we call it a day?
I got nothing.
That's fine. It was a long episode.
Let's go Cavs. Let's go Pacers. Let's go Bulls, baby.
I'd just like to say I'm glad Pat got a picture with the Indy sign. Classic.
Hey, it was all thanks to you.
Pat. God damn it.
Oh gosh, we'll send it to you, Diz.
Hard cut the pod.
No. Hold on.
Jesus.
Let me.
It was a little bit of trickery on my end. I'll be honest.
So we were waiting for the tickets to show up. I showed up at the lobby. I'm waiting there. They had to go back to the car to get them. So Tyler so kindly showed up, and I told him, "Hey, I'm standing next to the Indy sign. Like, it's happening. I'm just standing there. It's an easily findable thing to stand next to.
Biggest landmark in the lobby.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Just
whatever. I'm gonna stand
like
here.
sit on the end.
No.
You had to stand in the spot that made you look like a tourist.
No, I told him to. I was like, Pat, get over there. We gotta get one for you. And so then I snapped the picture, and then of course I captioned it. Pat made me take this. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that, and sent it to other group chats to.
Can I see this picture? Can you
yeah.
send it to me while we're live on air?
Absolutely, I got you.
Send this right now, and then it'll end with me roasting Pat.
Bring it. Bring the hatred.
Just sent it.
I mean,
You're gonna love the pose and the smile and everything, Dizz.
My God.
bring it on. Come on. Oh, even if you're on YouTube, you can see it there. I mean, it's just
It's a little blurry.
Electric
It's a good-
factory. Diz, make that picture your avatar for the next podcast episode.
Absolutely not.
I did set it up, so this was not Pat's idea, but I did caption it. What a loser!
What a loser made me take this. God.
In the custom Stimley number 5 Pacers jersey. I mean, it was. I'm here for the laughs.
Oh, that's the name of the pod. What a loser made me take this. That's fantastic.
Maybe tweet that one out for the from the account here.
Oh, that's
Patty,
a good idea.
this might be my new phone lock screen. No lies.
Hey, that's fine. That is fine. I mean, we're here for a good time. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram to see that photo. That will be coming out to the account here shortly. At Sportsbet by Dumb on Twitter and Instagram. Also, make sure you go to the YouTube. Type in Sports Betting by Dummies in the search. We're that first one on there. Look for the black and yellow logo. You cannot miss it. We're trying to get our subscribers numbers up. But thank you all for listening. Hopefully you have a nice, profitable start to your week. And we will see you all on Thursday. Oh, shit.